race again with my Chelsea hat on. They battered Chelsea in the League Cup for 45 minutes. They couldn't deal with the balls into the box, the long throws. They got Sonny Bradley at the heart of their defence, and it's just characters like that have been promoted copious amounts of times, that know the level so well, different ways to skin a cat, and they are a huge story, I think, in the EFL at the moment.
Every time Andy wants to come in, there's a goal at Notts County. Sophia.
Yeah, instant reaction here. Notts County have equalised. This game is crazy. Just a minute later from Tom Naylor's goal, Matty Platt gets a right-footed shot very close at range. This Notts County side certainly not playing like a side that are down to 10 men. It's Notts County 2, Chesterfield 2.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, I know Skubal has obviously done a great job, and rightly will get the credit for it, but I know the coaching staff there pretty well. Chris Cohn and Tom Shaw, they've been instrumental in kind of helping and kind of building something over the last probably 2 or 3 years, and how they've kind of built it to the point that they're at now. But it's a brilliant club, and we went and took one of our players to do, they kind of presented to him, they wanted to take him on loan early on in the season, and they kind of presented the vision for the club and how they want to go about it and how they want to play, and they've got a great setup there. The stadium, for kind of the level that it is really good. They've got a really nice training ground, and there's a good structure within that football club for them to be able to build some success. So it's not just what's happening on the pitch for them. I think it's there's a bigger picture going on there.
The other end of the scale, and I am genuinely gutted about this, is that in League Two, Walsall have sacked Matt Sadler, who, honestly, where they were and what they were doing last season to then fall away, and then actually 15 games ago they were top of League Two, or certainly in the top 3 of League Two, and they've fallen away again. And now they have parted company.
Yeah, one of 3 managers this week, Andy Crosby at Tranmere and Dino Marmari at Barrow as well. And yeah, I've spoken to Matt on Thursday, and it feels pretty amicable.
Right.
I think it's probably a good time for a fresh challenge for him. And these aren't his words, but I think from the outside looking in, we know how the modern game is in its current guise, and there's a level of toxicity, I think, associated to football when managers are going on losing runs and teams are struggling for results, and none more so at home. And I think they've been really struggling at home since the turn of the year. So I think for his own sake, it's probably a good opportunity for him to take stock, and I think that's what he's going to do. I don't think he's going to look to get back in over the next couple of months, but I think there will be a lot of clubs that will look at him, because I think he gave that town hope last season, and I think you've spoken a lot today about identities of teams and they're similar to Lincoln in a way that they've got a real structure. It's all about energy. It's about putting the opposition under pressure. It's pressing high, and he's been so unfortunate with Nathan Lowe last season.
Well, that was the question. That was my final. I don't watch Walsall week in, week out, so I appreciate Walsall fans may have a differing opinion of how at times their football
and he has to take responsibility for the results. Yeah, of course.
But that, to me, appears the biggest sliding doors moment for any club over the last couple of seasons. They had Nathan Lowe banging in the goals. Top scorer, I think he was probably top scorer in the league. Maybe Michael Cheek was ahead, I don't know. But top scorer in League Two this time last season. And he was taken back by his parent club, and then he didn't play that much.
He's found it really difficult. I was actually just talking to someone who's a Stockport fan, and he really
because he went on loan there, didn't he? He's off at Wycombe now. Now he's at Wycombe. So, but that one thing completely changed it for Walsall.
Yeah, and that was massive last year. They get promoted last season. He gets 25 goals. He's probably the player of the year at the halfway point last year. Obviously, it ended in playoff defeat to Wimbledon. So I thought, looking in from the outside, to put together a competitive side again this season, the recruitment, more than anything, had been really good, I think, in the summer. Daniel Carnu, on loan from Charlton, had actually gone some way to making up for those lost goals. He's actually not scored in 5 now, and he's had a real lean period since the turn of the year. So I think that's affected them. And also, just spoke about the energy, the legs. They had a lad, Ryan Finnegan, on loan from Blackpool, recalled by Ian Evatt, and I think that's had a huge knock-on effect as well when you're not working with the biggest squad. So they're still in the position. Darren Byfield, another mate of mine, takes charge today. 2 spells at the club as a player, bit of a legend there, and the lads all love Darren. He's a great guy, and he's been part of Matt Sadler's team, so it should be not too much upheaval.
Good to see you, Sam. Thank you. Sam Parker. You see, that is the other side of it, Andy, isn't it? when sending players out on loan, if you recall them, it can. I know you're doing it for the right reasons, but it can't half destabilise the club you've loaned them out to.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's a real tricky question, you know, and you know, for the people for the club who own the player, it's a real big decision. Do you leave somebody who's there banging in goals left, right and centre and really enjoying his football, or take him back and send him up the level with the kind of the worry that he might not play and might not kind of hit the ground running? I always think that you're better off kind of the better the devil you know, I suppose, and kind of leaving him there, particularly if it's a striker and they're scoring goals, because once clubs see somebody scoring goals, whether they want to take them on loan or they want to buy them permanently, the level doesn't kind of matter. If they're banging in goals, people are always looking for players who can score.
Andy Reid, Rob Green, Statman Dave with us this afternoon. Let's go around all the lunchtime EFL games. We'll start with the Championship leader. Blimey, the Championship games are all goalless. This shouldn't take long. Start with the Championship leaders commentary at home, Southampton. Julia.
Yeah, it's Coventry 0, Southampton 0. And